Okay, so taking some questions. I don't have time to address all of them, but I have Ryan here who's going to jump in and we'll address a couple of the questions from the Facebook group that came up. First one, let me grab this real quick. First one we had, David, best escapes for Spider Guard when you are short and they are tall and wiry. Okay, so let's look at concept from here. There's so many different types of passes, but I'll talk a little bit more about passing as well, because one of our members also said, you know, trying to deal with the modern leg lock game. So I'll give some broad concepts there too that will tie in. But if I'm playing Spider Guard, so I'm actually a bit taller and lankier than Ryan, so this is gonna be good. So I'll show both sides, right? First I'll show Spider Guard, basic variation of 2 feet in the biceps. So if I'm playing this type of a game, I've got really good connection, the ability to surf in here, that can absolutely be a pain. And then there's all sorts of variants like half spider, half leg lasso, so on and so forth. Feet can go in different places, but broadly speaking, the main Spider Guard is to tie you up, get you to make a mistake with the 2 feet in the biceps. So let's switch. Okay, so I'm going to assume that's what Ryan has on me. Okay, the problem is a lot of times everybody's thinking like hunker down, you know, try and come back, digging in with grips and then trying to pry this off, but yet your partner's surfing and unbalancing you, pulling you forward, side to side, exactly, and it can be hell. So the main thing from here is I'm always thinking, again, what do we want to do as we pass the guard? Pass the guard, I want to get around those legs or past the knees, past the hips essentially, get chest to chest contact. So from here, as long as I'm not letting my posture just fall into him so he can immediately go into a triangle or sweep or something like that, all I really need to do is to let my arms go free, right? So as Ryan starts connecting in here like this, okay, I don't want to just stay here planted on my heels for very long, because I cannot accomplish the task of getting my weight on him that way, okay? I want to use as little athleticism as possible. Otherwise, I'm going to be doing an athletic Spider Guard pass that I can't do, you know, 15, 20 years from now when I start to slow down. I want to be able to do the Spider Guard pass I'm about to show for as long as I can walk and crawl my ass on the mat to do jiu-jitsu. So from here, he's got a good attachment, right? So I'm just going to swim in and I use my body to pass the legs. So say, okay, but what if he has really long legs and you've got short arms? Okay, doesn't really matter, as you'll see, because I'm going to Ryan do this too, as I'll show it one more time. Okay, even if roles are reversed, because the thing is from here, once I have been able to pass this, okay, now I've got so much weight that even that far leg, which typically is going to want to pummel over, right, I just smear everything into that space. And in worst case scenario, you come in here and he can really fold up, that's okay too, right? Then you just keep walking around the leg until you get what you want to for your pass. Okay, so let's switch. So now, me, fairly tall and lanky, Ryan, shorter and stockier. Okay, he's gonna do the same thing. Good, that's it, yeah, see how he advances his body? And even if, let's say I can totally fold myself in half, pancake myself, one of the Gumby inverting guard players or something like that, his arms are still in a safe position there because he hasn't let them get extended away from his body. Let's go ahead and try that one. Next question. Give me a moment. Okay, so having trouble maintaining closed guard because of knee pain. I open guard pretty quick if my knee gets pushed or elbowed. Once I open my guard, what's a quick sweep or submission I can go for that isn't completely obvious to my opponent? So, yeah, a couple things. We could also potentially diagnose if I were able to see exactly what's going on with how people are applying pressure. I might be able to come up with a solution for you if we were working in person to kind of get around the knee pain, but since I don't know what exact pathology is there. Let's just kind of look at it here. So one thing, a super easy sweep that you can do from here a lot, even if somebody, you know, starts to go back against your ankles, like so. Obviously, first thing is I'd want to be breaking posture and everything, but if you assume he's already, like right now Ryan has that elbow already positioned inside my thigh, so he's going to start to go back. And if you feel like you just can't maintain here, one of the things that I love to do early is, and you can actually open your ankles from here, so your feet are still touching, takes the pressure off a bit though. So I still have a little bit of a clamp on him, but essentially what I'm going to do is before he starts the backward slide to go against my ankles, I'm just going to get one side, so say here, okay, that's what I'm going to get on this side over here, and then the other side I'm just going to grab a little piece of cloth down low on his pant leg. So this is pretty gi specific, but if that's what we're talking about, I do this and I do it super casually, okay? If you reach down and there's no cloth, really it's kind of pulled tight, then from here what I would do is I just, you know, play the unbalancing game, and you'll notice that like from here all of a sudden I have slack and he settles down. But when I do this, I'm not grabbing like this, because now he immediately goes like, okay, Steve's about to sweep me, right? I do this super casual. So I'll show you on the other side from here, since normally the front hand is the one that I'll kind of grab. And sometimes what I'll even do is, as I appear to be working really hard to break his posture, and he's doing a really good job from here, so I'm looking to do all this stuff, right, pulling forward with my legs, and as he settles, I almost go like he beat me, he got my posture. If my knees hurt, you can open your ankles right here. So you've got the grip here, very casual, very loose. The other hand is grabbing down at the base of his pant legs from here. And now right as he starts that backward slide, okay, I bring him forward like this. So this is just to keep the post from coming out, of course. I bring him forward with my legs, and at the same time I'm flaring his ankle slightly towards me. That's a huge detail from here. So if you look at it on the other side, okay, from here, this. So once I bring him forward here, there is no post, okay? And even if normally he'd be able to sort of drive his legs back like this, once you bring him forward at this angle, see how he's sort of facing this way, then it's a great sweep to go. Okay, I do that, I kind of fake him out now. From here, I take him over. And you can either do that with both knees coming up and then cut this one down at the end, or you can actually just put this foot right here on the floor. Just make sure your leg isn't loose. You want to make sure that your knee is kind of posted here. Okay, so bring him forward, okay? Haul this over. Good. Now the good thing too here, if he wants to elbow knee escape, is as you come up, you hold onto this for just a second. Make sure your feet are tucked solidly underneath him, right? And then you can start to play either low mount or situate yourself here into a high mount. Show one more angle. So the only difference here between closed guard and open guard, this is a little bit in the middle, because I'm not totally opening my guard yet and going into an open guard. All I'm doing is unhooking my feet, but just keeping them together, and my knees, my heels still curling, my knees still slightly pinching. Okay, so I'd be looking to fight Ryan down, and right when he thinks he won that battle, I just have these loose grips. As he goes to pass, up. Works well. Another one I like right at the moment that he does break, if he has that knee in the middle. And again, I'm always looking to break posture, but sometimes I understand you got bad knees or whatever have you. So right at this moment, as Ryan's going to break, what I like to do is scoot and point my knee in either this way, or you can do the same thing on this side. And obviously you see opportunities for scissor sweeps here, okay? They're really good. Doesn't really matter if you do it properly if he knows it's coming, but if he immediately, as you break, starts to get that front knee up, okay? I'll point my knee across like this and bring it in, and then this one, I'll just kind of thread through here, and if you notice, it's just kind of stuck on his hip. So right at that moment, again, I don't need to have a huge pull, I just need to know where his arms are, sleeves. So all I'm gonna do now with this foot is post it on the inside of his knee, and then I just fall onto my right shoulder. Okay? So from here, Ryan falls over. Now at this point, he'd be looking to try and get his back flat shrink away from me, so I just keep this one here, and I can either slide through into that space, or from here, okay, I just hold on to this, and of course then I can go backwards. Start to pass either to his back, or maybe flatten him out with my chest as I come around. Kind of going by feel there, different people have different preferences. I'll show that from the front. Okay, so right at the moment, I open, okay, I slide this in, and now he's bringing his knee up. That happens a lot. He goes into combat base. This one slides to there. This foot just goes to the inside of his knee. Now from here, I don't need to make a big motion. I'm just gonna fall into my right shoulder as I slightly kick out that knee. As we come up here, okay, I can let go with this one, but I make a connection here to my elbow to rib cage with this one. And now from here, I can either fall right into that space between his knee and his elbow, or if he really balls up tight, okay, it's an easy transition to come around towards his back.